been said, the best place to hide from a policeman is in a police station. With that in mind, where do you think is the best place to hide $100 billion? The amount this country spends on illegal drugs each year. It's not in boxes under beds. Well, not for long. It's out, mingling with legitimate deposits. Some of it in reputable brokerage houses just like yours. My name is Margot Swindell. My suit French, the shoes Italian, my personal banker's Swiss. My idea of a good time. Moving millions around the globe in an afternoon, all by wire transfer. Let me introduce you to my world. It's a world of shell corporations and offshore accounts. I'm not a federal investigator. I'm not a banker or a broker. I'm a money launderer. I've certainly traveled a long way from my humble beginnings. I started at the bottom as a smurf. You know, one of the people who turns big piles of cash into small piles of monetary instruments that can safely enter the banking system. Smurfing was hard on the legs. Running around, standing on lines, but I moved up quickly. Cash became too much trouble. Too many people were getting caught. It was time to diversify, seek out other methods of laundering. Don't think you're immune just because you don't deal in cash. You think you know your customers? Well, I know mine. The drug cartels don't want me to speculate with their money. What I offer them, for a small fee of 5%, is a clean paper trail. They want to give their money an air of legitimacy. Get it into an account, let it sit for a day, a week, a month, then wire it out. Simple. Let's see how I fare using this firm. Sutter Jones.
That Fed fund cleared for Mr. Wilkes, Calvin.
Great, Trudy.
Yeah, thanks, Leo. Hey, we're gonna see you and Amy at the house this Sunday, right?
Can't.
What? No. Don't tell me you're working weekends. Look, you already have twice as much in your accounts as I had my first year of production.
I just have to talk to Leo. He's looking for a varied portfolio, mostly low risk.
I see what he wants. Who is he?
He expects NAFTA to triple his business. Look, Leo, I'm sorry to rush, but he's flying down to Mexico City this afternoon to finalize a deal on a factory. If we can just...
Oh, slow it down, kid. You know the rules around here. Now, we can't do the initial transaction until all the forms are filled out completely and correctly. Now, were you able to contact this reference, Juan Reyes?
He's a well-known name in the textile industry.
Well, let's get some more information on Mr. Mondragon and his business before opening this one, Calvin. Yeah, Ed, Leo, is Myers going to be at that 3 o'clock? Because if he is, I could bring down the number.
If you ask me, everyone's gotten a little paranoid. This Mondragon fellow, he's not a money launderer. He's a legitimate investor. Compliance. If they just relaxed, things would be so much easier for all of us.
No, I'm telling you. I mean, it's not just Rule 405. Know your customer means you know his background, you know the source of the funds, and you get documents. Now, you have to know if your customer is legit and the money's clean.
Look, I'm aware of that, Franklin. It's just...
How much time did it cost you? A couple of hours? Do you know how much time giving depositions is going to cost you for sturdy money? The rules are there to cover the firm and you. That's what managers are for.
Know your customer. I know how to throw up enough smoke to make a firm think they know me when they don't.
So, what else you got?
I may have something hot.
Yeah?
I'm expecting a referral this afternoon from my dad's accountant in Florida.
Good.
So I just met this guy out on the course. He's got homes all over the world. Miami, Caracas, Hong Kong, real jet setter.
Next day, drops by the office.
Says he's moving his center of operations up to your neck of the woods. Asks if I can recommend an ambitious young broker.
No kidding, that's how he put it.
What business is he in?
Oil, I think.
Well, I really appreciate the referral.
Yeah, just have him call.
Venezuela is very rich in oil, but my company has branched out into many other areas. We have interests ranging from golf courses to parking garages.
Well, I don't want to make the same mistakes All Home Bank made. Why are you leaving them, Senor Ambastero?
My corporation wants to invest $12 million, Mr. Brooks, but the capital must be preserved. We need a 4 to 5% return. You select the portfolio, but be aware, we'll need operating expenses on a quarterly basis. Will you be able to handle our cash transactions?
The firm doesn't accept cash deposits, Senor Ambastero.
I am reminded we receive a great deal of money orders and traveler's checks at some of our interests worldwide. With your global operations, will you be able to accommodate us?
We will, but we do have limits on the amounts.
Oh, it is no concern. We can use our international banks and transfer the money in. Most of all, let me say, Mr. Brooks, we are here because we trust Sutter Jones and we want to build a long relationship. I'd like to wire in the $12 million tomorrow. I'll put you in contact with my financial advisor. She takes care of all the details. Her name is Margot Swindell.
In my business, just like yours, details are worth millions. And I pay attention to the details. I didn't have to be at the meeting. At the time, I was having a conversation with a friendly customs officer, making sure a shipment of currency marked washing machine parts had no trouble being smuggled out of port on its way to the Caymans. The introduction? We met the CPA on the golf course, just like he said. He really thought he was helping, Calvin. The letter from the prestigious attorney? It merely stated we'd paid them a $15,000 retainer, just the cost of doing business. The documents and certificates? Forged by master craftsmen under my personal guidance. Isn't laser printing wonderful? Barker started for me as a smurf, was there to make sure there was no deviation from the script. And he works for me too. I believe he holds the distinction of being the only taxi driver who's the president of his own corporation in the Netherlands Antilles.
It just came in now. No, I just want to verify the assets. Thanks. It's all there. The CPA's an old friend of Dad's. They hired a big shot law firm. I verified the money. It's all on the up and up.
This seems too good to be true. This will double your assets. What do they want to do with the money?
T-bills, money markets, munis, low risk. What do I have to do to open a $12 million account?
Look, Calvin, if someone comes to you with $12 million, you have to ask yourself, why am I so lucky? It's just not how much business you take in. It's got to be the right kind of business.
Look, it's all there. Give me some credit. I'd get a gut feeling if these people weren't legit. I mean, what are you saying? Everyone who walks in here is a thief?
I'm just saying things that look too good to be true usually are.
You get a raise.
Yes.
If anyone deserved a big break, it's you, Cal.
In Washington today, the chairman of the Federal Reserve signaled that short-term interest rates will rise. This would make that the 10th time this year. 2 bankers were arrested this week, and many more arrests are expected to follow. The $300 million money laundering ring that was broken up in California last week has been tied to a Mexican drug cartel.
The dirty money was in. Poor Calvin thought he was set for life, but in a couple of days, the money would move out again, clean as a whistle.
Want me to get that?
Sutter Jones, Calvin Brooks speaking. Oh, Miss Swindell, I'm glad to finally get to talk to you. But, Miss Swindell, this isn't what we talked about when we opened the account.
We need the $12 million transferred to our bank in Moscow to purchase equipment that's just become available. I don't see the problem. We can meet at Senor Ambastero's hotel tomorrow. It'll have to be early. He has a 9 o'clock flight to Caracas. He's staying at the Piedmont. See you then. Ramon, call the Piedmont Hotel, book the presidential suite for tomorrow morning, see if you can get an hourly rate. Dobry dzień. To Samaric. Bogota do Mexico City, do Luxembourg, do Sutter Jones i nazad to Tabech.
You just missed him, Calvin.
It's Calvin Brooks. Is Leo there? When will he be back? I need to talk to him. Okay.
Why are you trying to call Leo?
It's nothing.
Everything all right at work?
Yeah, it's fine. I can't believe they're moving all the money out.
And you haven't talked to Leo yet.
Embistero's advisor called after he left for the day. I called his house. He won't be home till after midnight. I mean, Swindell... I can't believe it.
I don't like this, Calvin. What time's the meeting tomorrow?
Early.
This is Mr. Brooks and his associate, Mr. Leifert.
What I'm saying is we're not money transmitters, okay? That's not our business. We offer investment services and other...
But we've already made the deal.
If the money isn't moved, we'll get sued. And we'll sue you. Let's make that clear right now.
We're not trying to keep you from making this deal. We need written instructions from Senor Embistero.
I'll give you my instructions. I am his financial advisor.
We were under the impression that Mr. Embistero, Senor Embistero would be here.
I know I'm authorized to speak to you, Miss Swindell, but I'm not allowed to release any funds unless you have power of attorney.
He told you I represent his interests. I'm the person responsible for his money, and I say you move it.
All Senor Embistero has to do is...
Fine, we'll have him fax the instructions to your office the second his plane lands.
I really don't want this to adversely affect any future dealings we may have with your client.
Frankly, I'm a little disappointed with the way Sutter Jones conducts its business.
Calvin.
The clock was now ticking. With a threat of lawsuits, I was sure we could move the $12 million.
Yeah, look at this. On one side of my desk, I have instructions from Embistero directing us to move his $12 million. And on the other, a court order freezing all of his assets.
Calvin Brooks. Mr. Brooks, you're hereby ordered to appear before the grand jury.
What's going on here?
We can't discuss that. We'll see you at the U.S. Attorney's Office tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Let's go through this one more time. How much did she promise you?
This is ridiculous. How many times do I have to tell you? I haven't done anything wrong.
Come on, you knew this was drug money.
I told you.
We have been tracing these people for a year. Agent Johnson has been on this case night and day. We could see what was going on. You're gonna sit there and tell us you didn't? You're an expert on money. You knew who you were dealing with.
I didn't.
You knew what the game was. You knew the rules. The money left the Caymans 10 days ago. It stopped over in All Home Bank for just under a week. You opened up an account for some of the biggest international dealers in illegal cash. You allowed the earnings of the world's most dangerous drug cartel to be wired into your firm. You were prepared to wire it back offshore. And you can sit there and honestly tell me
I didn't know they were drug dealers. I don't know these people. I don't know anything about them.
Isn't that the whole point, Mr. Brooks? You didn't know these people. You didn't know their business. You didn't know anything about their financial advisor. And yet you were willing, eager to open an account for them. They told you they wanted to deposit cash, that they receive a large number of traveler's checks and money orders. Maybe if you had told your manager, he wouldn't have let you open up the account.
I called All Home Bank.
But did you ask them how long the money had been there?
I had a letter that they were clients of White Shoe, Crumley, and Brown.
What, did you call them?
Call a law firm? They're not allowed to tell me anything. I had a great referral. My dad's CPA told me...
Right. Your dad's CPA. He played 18 holes of golf with Mr. Embistero, huh? Did you even attempt to find out what business he was in?
Oil. But golf courses and other things, you have the charter right in front of you.
Oh, the charter. You have the, those are the ones. This is the one he presented to you. Here's a few of the others they've used over the years. Pan-Caribbean Properties, Saxony Industries, Diebman and Diebman. He said, global operations. Why didn't their bank accounts in Latin America tip you off? Don't you know the drugs are moved from there, through Mexico, then into the United States?
How am I supposed to know that?
Because, Mr. Brooks, that's your job. You've got to know.
We're ready for you, Miss Swindell.
It didn't work out at Sutter Jones. But don't worry about me. I cut my deal with the feds. Don't think just because I was caught that the problem's solved. There's a lot of money at stake. It's got to go somewhere. I'll be back.
Leo.
Mr. Brooks, is it true you and Sutter Jones aided in the laundering of over $12 million in drug money?
Remember, I'm just another money launderer. You and your firm are tomorrow's headlines.